Alright, so we're back. I went and just packed all these into the UV 0 to 1 space, and I organized them a little bit so I could understand what is what. So here are the seams, and I've attached them so it works. If I went and attached a couple of these things, I'd end up with stretching and deformation, so I didn't attach it any more than I have it attached here. And this will work for me, and I'm just going to go and create a projection map of this. So I'm going to go to Tools, and then I am going to come down to Render UV W Template, and here are the settings for this. So this is the map size that we're going to be exporting. I can force two sides or turn that off. How it's going to render, so anything that's overlapped is going to show in red, our seams are going to show in green, and then we can pick where we want to export this to. And I do have a scenes folder, and I will actually go and export this in the scene assets, render assets, just so I can find it later. So we're just going to call this teapot. And hit save. And I'm going to save a PNG, will work for me. 24-bit, 48-bit. Doesn't matter because it's depends on the colors. So we don't need that many colors, so I'm just going to bring it down and render that template. So here it is, and again you can just save it right here. So if I click, I have that render. I can just export another one if I need to. So I'm going to go into Photoshop. Okay, so I just brought this into Photoshop. I'm going to go and make a new layer, put it below, change so I have black as my front color, and then fill the whole layer with black so we can see it again. And then right here is my map layer that was generated. I'm going to go above that and create one more layer, and this is the layer I'm going to color on. And then I'm going to hide this layer when I go to export because I don't want these lines back on my map. So let's just go and grab a rectangle select. I'm going to pick, just do a shade of blue. And I just want to zoom in on this document a little bit more. I do 100. Okay. So I'm just going to pick the areas I want to paint. So I know this is the spout, and I want to make, I'll do the whole thing as this turquoisey blue. So I'm just going to do a bounding box around that. And paint, make sure I'm on my paint layer. And I'm going to do another paint selection. And I'll get this top part, but not the spout end. And I'm going to pick my second color and just make a blue line. So we'll have a ring around the top of the spout. And then we will do the same for the teapot lid. I'm going to just do this blue, and then put a stripe at the top. of the darker blue. And then for this one, we'll do the reverse. So I'm going to use the darker blue for the lid handle with a single stripe of the light. Now we have the handle, and I will just make that the darker blue. Excuse me. The darker blue, and then I will make in the lighter blue. And now for the rest of the body, we'll use the lighter blue. So this is the ring around the top. Here's the main body. I'll just use the lighter blue. Fill that. Go to the ring around the top of the actual teapot. Use the darker blue. And the bottom, we will do the darker blue. So the base gets the darker blue. Okay, so before I save this, I do want to hide this top layer. I did make sure that the image was a little bit larger than the mask. And then that way, if it gets shifted slightly, we'll have a little bit of bleed on that. And then I can go File. I can just resave. On the asset folder, we'll just call this Paint It. PNG, Photoshop. Any of that is fine. Just going to go back to PNG. And we'll go back into 3ds Max. Close this window. I'm going to make a new standard material. Apply it to the selection, make visible in the viewport. And then I'm going to navigate to the folder. Go General Bitmap. Come out one, go to Render Assets, and put that on. And this is what the teapot looks like from what we painted.